Step number one is skyrocketing your views on TikTok is making sure that you're only uploading content that actually has a rising interest, because most of you right now are making the mistake of creating content that actually less people are interested in today than they were yesterday. Here's how you actually find that. So in order to actually find that, you're gonna have to come onto your profile on TikTok. Now from here, you're gonna wanna click on TikTok Studio, and then what you wanna do is you want to scroll down a little bit, you're gonna click View All, and this is going to show you content that a lot of people are interested in. And if you come into Recommended right here, you're gonna be able to see content that your viewers have searched for. For example, with mine, how to create content on TikTok. Now if I click on this, here's what I see, that this is actually losing popularity. Now if I change this right here to last 30 days, you'll see that sometimes it has spikes, and then it comes back down, and you're actually going to see this with a lot of content. So right now, this is a terrible piece of content for me to create, even though it says that it's up almost 200%. So what you want to do now is you want to get out of this, you want to come over here, you want to come to the search bar, and you want to type in right here, Creator Search Insights. So if you didn't see something in your TikTok Studio, you're going to want to come over here and you're going to want to do searches for things. For example, let's say that we were going to make a video about Hurricane Milton, which I would suggest you do not do. Why? Because if we look at this, what we're going to see, for example, Hurricane Vlog, it is going down in popularity. It increased because of the hurricane, but now it's gone down a lot. For example, if we compare that to how to choose content on TikTok, we're going to see that this is skyrocketing. So what does that mean? That this is the piece of content I should actually be going to create, because today it's got more people interested in it than ever before. And you need to make sure that you're doing that every single time that you go to create a piece of content on TikTok, because if you're not doing that, what ends up happening is you're creating content on something that TikTok actually isn't recommending the way that they used to recommend it. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I see TikTok creators make. They see content somebody else has created and say, wow, this did so good for them, but they don't realize it did good 3 months ago, 2 weeks ago, or even in some cases 3 days ago, and it won't do well for you if you create that piece of content right now simply because it's not on the up and up. But that's not the only thing you need to be doing on TikTok right now. You also need to make sure that you're posting at the right time. You need to make sure you're putting your keywords in the right place, and a few other things I'm going to share with you towards the end of this video. And if you skip just any one of these things, it's the reason you're going to fail to increase your views on TikTok right now. So for now, let's talk about adding keywords into your content. There are essentially a few different places you need to make sure that your keywords are being added. First and foremost, you need to have your keyword added in the text that's on the screen in the hook of the video. Secondly, it needs to show in your description. Third, it needs to show in the captions that you have on your content. And please do not be one of those people that add captions into your content and move them off to the side or make them so small that nobody can see them, because this actually isn't going to help you. And just stuffing up your content with keywords isn't going to help you either. It needs to be in these very specific placements. Now, the next place your keywords need to be are going to be in your hashtags. And then finally, ideally, you should be having the keyword that you're trying to rank that video for, or at least the audience that you're trying to go after. It should be showing up in the comment section of your videos. If it's not showing in all those different placements, it's going to be really hard for TikTok to know who they should show your content to. And then what's going to happen is TikTok shows your content to the wrong people, you don't get the metrics you need, and boom, this is why you're not getting the views that you want to on TikTok right now. And if you want to make sure that you're writing the perfect description and you're using the best hashtags possible when you go to post something on TikTok, you need to make sure that you're using Metricool, because Metricool is going to allow you to search for the best hashtags for whatever you're posting about. For example, if I was going to do a post about affiliate marketing, I could come in and Metricool will show me the best hashtags and even create a description for me with their text generator assistant AI tool. And that's not only going to increase the views that I get, it's also going to make my life 100 times easier, because if you're like me, you spend way too much time trying to come up with descriptions or trying to come up with hashtags, and make sure that they have the keywords so that your content will get shown to the right people. Well, Metricool makes that incredibly easy, and that's exactly why I would strongly suggest you go to the pinned comment below right now and get started with 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code Robert. But the value of Metricool doesn't stop there. You could also use Metricool to schedule out your posts, and you can post your content on multiple platforms so that you don't have to go to each of them and actually post your content. And my favorite part about their scheduler tool is now it's hooked up to Google Drive. What does this mean? That all you have to do is put your content in your Google Drive, it'll get hooked up to Metricool, and boom, you could post to every single platform that you post on from one app. And unlike most apps that you can use to schedule out your content, Metricool isn't going to lead to a decrease in views. So what are you waiting for? Go to that pinned comment below, get started with 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code Robert, because Metricool is going to help you increase your views and make more money from TikTok. Now, when it comes to the metrics that you need to be hitting if you want to get more views on TikTok, here's what you need to be focused on. The first one is what your audience retention graph actually looks like. And there are basically three different things your audience retention graph can look like. It can look like this one, it can look like this one, and it can look like this one. But only one of these is going to lead to your post going viral. Can you guess which one it is? Well, if you guess this one, you would be wrong. If you guess this one, you'd also be wrong. You need your audience retention graph to look like this. It's totally natural to lose people in the beginning of the video, so long as more than 70% of people are still watching after the first 3 seconds, and then you want this graph to look as flat as possible. If your graph looks like this, it means that your hook was interesting, but the rest of the video was terrible and nobody wanted to watch it. If your graph looks like this, it means that your video wasn't that interesting, and then you did something here to really tick people off and they left. So what you want to do is be studying your audience retention graphs and see how you can get them to be as flat as humanly possible. The easiest way for you to do this is to make sure that your content isn't longer than it needs to be, and you need to make sure that you are editing your content to constantly have clip changes. Now here's what that actually looks like in practice. If we scroll down on one of Nick's videos and we come to this one that got over 700,000 views, you're going to see that this was one clip. And then what does he do? There's another clip. And then what does he do? There's another clip. And then what does he do? There's going to be another clip. And the reason that he keeps changing clips like this is because it increases the odds that somebody actually continues to want to watch the rest of the video, which is why you need to be changing the clip every 3 to 4 seconds, unless you're actually showing something on screen or you're showing people something, because otherwise they're going to get bored. Now those next two metrics that you need to be aware of are things that I glanced over before, but I wanted to go through them a little bit more in depth. That second one is going to be that 70% or more are still watching after the first 3 seconds. The only reason that this will not happen is either one, your hook wasn't good enough, or two, the topic that you chose to create content on just wasn't something that your ideal viewer was interested in. Or you could be posting your content at the wrong time, because if you post your content at the wrong time, the wrong people are going to see it. If the wrong people see it, they're going to swipe away. They're not going to watch past the first 3 seconds, and then boom, TikTok is going to kill your video dead in its tracks. In addition to that, please make sure you never upload a TikTok less than 5 seconds long. It will destroy how many views you get. And finally, you need to be focused on your completion rate. Ideally, more than 50% of people that begin the video should also be completing the video. If you're able to get this to happen, your video is going to be almost guaranteed to go viral. So now that you know all that, you need to know about the 3 types of content that TikTok are pushing like crazy right now. First and foremost, going live on TikTok is one of the biggest hacks to getting more views. Ideally, you should be going live once to a few times a week. And the reason that you want to go live is because it increases the amount of time people spend on your content. And then guess what ends up happening? TikTok shows your content out to more people. While you're live, it shows it to more people. While you're not live, it shows it to more people. Because what TikTok sees is that people spend a lot more time on your page than if you simply just upload 7-second videos, 5-second videos, 30-second videos. If you go live for an hour, a bunch of people are going to spend way more time on your TikTok, and a bunch of new people are going to find out about you. So I'd strongly suggest you're doing this on a weekly basis. The second thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is you need to make sure you are using CapCut templates within the content you're creating. And to prove this to you, I literally want to go through TikTok right now, do a little bit of scrolling, and show you that this really works. So I am literally just going to randomly start scrolling on TikTok, and we're going to see a bunch of different CapCut templates here. For example, there's one used right here. And if I keep scrolling, you're going to see that there was another one used right here. And the reason that this happens is because TikTok wants to be able to promote trends. What is the easiest way that they can guaranteed promote trends? To promote the templates that are being used in those trends. And you need to make sure that you are looking at your competitors, seeing what CapCut templates are using, and then using those in your content. This is one of the easiest ways for you to be able to increase your views. Now, that next type of content that you need to make sure that you're creating is going to be content that does one of two things. Either one, reacts to somebody else's video on TikTok, or two, actually gets people to watch the video all the way through to the end. Let me show you some examples. So if we look at somebody like Mike right here, we'll see that one of his most viewed videos recently is him reacting to this video right here. And the reason that this works is people want to know what other people think about other people on TikTok, other brands on TikTok, other types of people on TikTok. So this content does absolutely amazing, but you don't just have to react to things. You could also create content that kind of forces people to watch the video all the way through to the end. For example, if we come over to Little Man Jay right here, he's got over 1.7 million followers, and it's because because he's done these crazy viral videos like this. If we look at this video right here, 2.3 million views. This video, 1.3 million views, and they're both basically the same exact thing. It starts off with him playing music, and you're wondering whether or not he's going to get dragged away when the car gets to the end. Now, guess what? We're willing to watch the video all the way through to the end to see that, but then you see that it didn't actually happen. So what ends up happening? You just watch the video all the way through to the end. He got almost 100% completion rate, and boom, his video ends up going viral. He did the same exact thing here, but with a U-Haul. So what does that mean? That you need to be trying to create content that has things like this incorporated in it. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you that you need to rent a U-Haul and tie yourself to a rope and make it look like you were going to fly away. But you need to be thinking about the hooks of your content and how they actually play in so that somebody is going to watch a video all the way through to the end. Here are a few more examples. If we look at Healthy Emmy over here, she did this video recently that kind of does the same exact thing, even though it's a little bit shorter. She's running her finger through real peanut butter, so guess what you're going to want to know? Wait, if that's what real peanut butter look like, what does fake peanut butter look like? And that's why you watch this video right here. And there are several different ways that you could do it. We'll come back to Nick and we'll see that he did a similar thing with a few of his credit card videos, like this video right here. What does he do? He scans through the entire board and then he goes through them one by one. And guess what this does? It gets people to watch the content all the way through to the end so that they can figure out exactly what credit card they should have at what stage of their business or at what stage of what they're actually doing. These are the same types of pieces of content you need to be incorporating into what you do because they skyrocket the reach that you get. Now, the final and most important thing you need to make sure that you're not doing wrong on TikTok right now is posting too much. In the past, you were able to post 5 times a day, 7 times a day, 10 times a day, but that's not the case on TikTok right now. In addition to that, you used to be able to just constantly post even if you had a video going viral, and that's different now also. Right now on TikTok, I would not post more than 3 times a day. I would post at least 3 times a week so you don't get kicked out of the algorithm. And when you have a post that's doing really good, it's completely fine to take 1 or 2 days off of posting, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is you're going to post a piece of content, it's going to try to go in front of that viral video, and then boom, it's going to decrease the reach that you get on that viral video. And odds are your newest piece of content isn't more viral than that viral piece of content. So you want to let that video get as many views as it possibly can, because then it's going to make you eligible for more views in the future on TikTok. And if you're still struggling to get views, get followers, and get monetized on TikTok right now, I personally want to help you. And that's exactly why I'd strongly suggest you check out this video right here that explains the 3 different ways I can help you grow quicker on TikTok.